dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. For months, students from across the area have been working on projects to submit to the Cedar Student Fair in Pikeville. On Thursday, more than 150 of them were on display. WYMT's Keaton Hall shows us how one school used the fair as an opportunity to share their story.
From economic proposals to original songs, the Cedar Future of Work in Appalachia Student Fair saw hundreds of submissions from students across the region.
This is the regional fair. The local fairs, and the local being the schools that did participate, they have their own fair. And then from those, they chose a certain number of projects to bring to the regional fair.
The best projects from throughout the region were on display at the University of Pikeville on Thursday. Pikeville middle schooler Javen Dotson built a website highlighting the benefits of tourism.
It's what I see as the future of Pike County, what could be the future if we look in towards a tourism-based economy.
Buckhorn High schooler Shayla Riley helped submit a group report on the effect the floods had on her community.
We interviewed some teachers at the school that were affected, and we actually made it into a book. Whenever the flood was happening, you didn't really have time to sit and think about what actually happened. So whenever we were doing this project and really talking to everybody else, you got to realize what you actually went through and how tragic it really was.
In total, 17 students from Buckhorn sent in projects.
Yeah, the flood showed us our weaknesses. How would the kids want to improve these weaknesses? You know, as far as in your own community, you know, and getting them to think like that they are our future.
Buckhorn staff member James Eversole says they plan on publishing the book their students made. In Pikeville, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Cedar has held student fairs for 30 years, recently partnering with SOAR and Pikeville Medical Center, focusing on rebuilding the local workforce.
Warm one out there today, and not everybody got a cooling shower, though a few of us did, and well, remain seeing some of that rain at this hour. Here's where we ended up today. We were warm. How about upper 70s to near 80 all throughout the region as we head through this overnight. Still watching a couple of pop-ups. We have one right now on the Menifee-Morgan County line, just north of 946 west of Grassy Creek. So you may be seeing some brief heavy rain in that location, and perhaps just south and west of 150 there west of Mount Vernon in Rockcastle County, maybe a shower or two. Same thing along 27 in Pulaski County. But we're drying out tonight. We'll stay dry as we pour your breakfast cereal in the morning. Of course, I'm partial to frosted weather wheats is what I eat in the morning. Middle and upper 50s as we start things off, and we're near 60 quickly into the morning hours. So if you're headed out for that run, looks like we're in good shape through the day tomorrow, but we're going to have to watch that rain as we head later on tomorrow evening. If we can get the running forecast, there we go, looking pretty good as we head through the day tomorrow. I think the rain holds off till late. I'm tracking it out in a few minutes, Steve.
Very comfortable feel out there tonight. Evan, thank you. The National Weather Service confirmed a tornado touchdown in Magoffin County on Election Tuesday. An EF1 tornado hit the Hollow and Board Tree Road area. You can see trees were snapped in half there. Magoffin County EMA Director Robert Prater says he is thankful that there was no major property damage.
Better that it happened in the forest and the timber rather than being in town or, you know, where a lot of people live, trailer parks or anything like that. It would have been bad.
Prater says the tornado sirens in Magoffin County did not go off on Tuesday as they did not have confirmation of a tornado touchdown at the time of the storm. As we near the 10-month mark since the July flood, many community members in the Buckhorn area are asking questions as to why it is taking so long for the school system to begin reconstruction at the school. Perry County Schools CFO Jody Maggard says he understands the frustration, but says the school system is working as quickly as possible to get the work done.
It is a lengthy process. There is none of this that is moving at what I would say is even a normal pace. It is a slow process. And I believe with that comes a lot of, well, they're not going to do it. Buckhorn will never reopen. Robinson will never be rebuilt. None of those have ever been discussed by our board.
Maggard says the reconstruction of Buckhorn is expected to begin in mid-June. Well, 2 Buckhorn educators were honored tonight. Mildred Blank and Judy Eversole were presented the Kentucky Community and Technical College System Pathfinder Award. Blank is a special education teacher and also established a scholarship along with her husband in memory of one of their sons that died in a car crash. Eversole is the director of Buckhorn's Family Resource Center and has recently helped students recover from July's flood.
We were thrilled to be recognized, but that's not why we do it. We love our kiddos here at Buckhorn, and we just want to see them grow and go on into college or go into a career, and that's what it's all about for us. But we were very surprised and happy to be recognized.
Blank and Eversole were nominated by Hazard Community and Technical College academic advisor Tammy Duff. Police at Eastern Kentucky University are investigating after they found a suspicious object at a school. Police gave the all clear around 6 tonight at Model in Richmond. They were called to the school around 4 o'clock for a suspicious device. The building was evacuated and everyone was urged to avoid that area. Police say they found the device and it did not pose a threat. Police did not say what it was. Wesley Hook was murdered almost 3 years ago, and his family has been waiting for answers ever since. Today, Eric DeLeon, one of the 3 people arrested and charged in connection with his murder, was sentenced in Floyd County for his role in kidnapping Hook. Hook's mother shared her victim impact statement with the court before DeLeon was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
I think punishments in Kentucky aren't as harsh as they should be, but you know, I think yeah.
I think it's fair.
I mean, I'll probably be dead when he gets out. So.
Barbara Hook says at the end of the day, she just wants answers about what happened to her son as they await the outcome for Enos Little, the 3rd person charged in connection with Hook's death. Earlier today, community leaders in Harlan sat down and talked about ways they can better serve people in that county. Harlan ARH hosted a luncheon to discuss how the healthcare industry can work with the community to create partnerships to promote better outcomes. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says this conversation was important for everyone involved. He says by continuing to educate folks, they'll be able to have a better and healthier community.
We have to be educating our community on why health is important and why we need to be making sure we're taking care of ourselves, both from a physical perspective and going through and getting the screenings that are necessary and recommended to make sure that we're keeping an eye on our health.
Mosley says he will continue to work with and for the people of Harlan County to make sure they have the resources they need. Just 2 days after the primary election, Governor Andy Beshears released his first campaign ad this afternoon.
Kentucky is a special place. I see it everywhere I go. People putting aside their differences and looking out for each other.
The governor highlights the flooding in eastern Kentucky, the western Kentucky tornadoes, his clean water program, and jobs in the ad. He's looking to be elected for a 2nd term. He will face Republican candidate Attorney General Daniel Cameron in the November election. Governor Beshears officially kicks off his campaign this weekend and will make stops in eastern Kentucky on Saturday. Cameron and all the statewide Republican candidates will hold a joint news conference tomorrow in Frankfort. Memorial Day marks the kickoff to the summer travel season. AAA says about 42 million people nationwide are expected to travel between Thursday and Monday of Memorial Day weekend. AAA of the Bluegrass expects more than 530,000 Kentuckians to head out for Memorial Day weekend, which is almost 12% of the population. One issue Lori Weaver Hawkins with AAA says drivers should not have this Memorial Day and throughout the summer is paying too much at the pump.
Hotels are more expensive. Flights are about 40% higher than what we saw last Memorial Day. So people are paying more for other things on their trips, but gas shouldn't be one of them.
AAA recommends those traveling long distances to do a few things before they leave. First, make sure you have a spare tire and that it's safe to drive on in case of an emergency. They also say flat tires are one of the most common calls they respond to on the interstate. You should also check your fluids, and when it's hot outside, be mindful of your battery not overheating. Kentucky State Fair organizers in Louisville have unveiled the 2023 dates and a new experience this summer. This year's State Fair is happening from August 17th through the 27th with the theme Summer Summed Up. Organizers say there will be a variety of entertainment options, food, and attractions at the Kentucky Expo Center, including the new Beer Fest. It will be held the first Friday of Fair Week. Those who are 21 and up will be able to sample beers from 20 different craft breweries from across the state. Fair tickets are already on sale for $9, and that includes admission and parking. Two young Eastern Kentucky musicians were recently featured on Michael Jonathan's Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour, and the two will soon travel to be featured on Woodsongs Kids. WIMT's Jordan Mullins has more on how they got their start.
13-year-old Jonathan Moore and 11-year-old Adeline Ramey are students of Janine Freeman's vocal studio at the Mountain Arts Center, and the two musicians recently began writing their own original songs.
Jonathan and Adeline have songs that are just well crafted, and I thought they deserved to be heard by more people than what they might have been able to share with people locally.
Freeman suggested the two send in their works to Michael Jonathan's Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour, and they appeared on the TV and radio show in late April and early May. Now the two are going back to Lexington in the near future for a taping of the newest season of Woodsongs Kids.
It's now in its second season. It had a very successful first season, and now they're taping their second season, and Adeline and Jonathan get to be part of those shows too.
Both Moore and Ramey say they are excited to share their music across the globe.
Super excited.
Same.
And actually, I'm going to be on Woodsongs Kids in the very first part of June. I'm sure you're going to be too. Yeah. It's just super exciting.
And are grateful for the opportunity.
I'm really grateful that I got the chance to do this, and I mean, just ever since I started writing songs, stuff's just picked up, and it's been a great journey.
Young musicians with a bright future ahead. In Prestonsburg, Jordan Mullins, WIMT Mountain News.
Although Ramey and Moore have been singing or playing for many years, they say they just recently began writing their own music and say many more songs are in the works. Coming up on Mountain News.